Welcome back everyone to another Jazz Man video. Now this one we are going to be going over the Euros and their knockout stages and my predictions as to who's going to win it, who's going to go through groups, the big knockout stage failures and successes. So a little bit different. It's not necessarily focused on the fantasy league for the Euros itself, but it will give you an indication of teams to kind of highlight. What I'm going to do as well is going to make a little video later on about which fixtures in the group stages and stuff in the knockout stage, predicting who's going to be playing good games, players that you might want to keep. So keep your eyes out for that one. But for this one, let's quickly break down who I think is going to go through each group, who's going to end up finally winning the tournament. So as you can see, Group A is a bit of a decent group. I'm predicting Italy to come out of that one pretty straightforward, followed by, it's going to be a tough call, but I'd say Switzerland get up over it. Italy have a very good, strong squad. They are going to be very good in this tournament. I think a lot of people are underrating them. Switzerland and Turkey both have decent squads. I think I'm going to give it to Switzerland. I'm going to say like Shaqiri does something massive. Their team is just a little bit more stable. Turkey obviously have some quality in there as well, so I don't think they're going to be too far behind. But that second and third spot is going to be very, very close. And I think, unfortunately, poor little old Wales, no matter how good Gareth Bale is going to be, that team is just going to let him down. Now we move on to Group B, and this one here is a pretty straightforward group to me. Belgium should walk this group. I expect nothing less of straight wins. Maybe they drop a point or something like that with a draw with maybe Russia. Russia should finish second. They are a very strong squad. Obviously Belgium are very, very strong. Russia are a decent squad and they've done pretty well in the last few tournaments. So follow that up with Denmark. I think Christian Eriksen, that team is actually pretty solid. I think they'll do quite well in third place. They might steal some points and that'll be a pretty decent fight out. And I think Finland are just going to be shit out of luck in a tough group. They might get a point. I'm predicting a draw against, say, like Russia or Belgium or something when it doesn't matter. But yeah, pretty straightforward group, that one. Now, this is where my first upset kind of comes into it. I think Ukraine are going to do very, very well here. Obviously, Netherlands are very strong, but they are in a bit of turmoil now. Their coach isn't the greatest, their team isn't gelling, no Van Dijk. I think things won't go perfectly for them. I think they'll still go through pretty comfortably, but I don't think it's going to be as easily as possible. I think Ukraine are going to do really, really well. Shevchenko at the helm of that team is going to be interesting. I think he's going to add a whole nother level of nationalism to that team that's already full of decent young players. So watch out for that one. I'm calling Ukraine to finish top, followed by Netherlands in second, Austria in a distant third, and North Macedonia to just be... I think North Macedonia will be the only team in the tournament to not get any points. Now we move on to the group that everybody wants to know about, and that is England's group. Now I think, unfortunately for them, they are going to finish top of the group. Now I say unfortunately because I think in the knockout stage that will handicap them with the groups to come. I think their squad is obviously very, very good. I think they'll get their shit together. They'll win their first game. That'll set them up really well and nice for the second game. As long as Harry Kane stays fit, I think they'll do all right. So yeah, top of the group for England, followed by Croatia in second place. Decent Croatia squad. We know what you're going to get. They're going to be hard to beat. Third place is going to be a distant Czech, and fourth place is going to be Scotland. I take that back. I think Scotland and North Macedonia are going to be two teams. They get 0 points. Now, this is another group in Group E that's going to be a very difficult group to call. I don't see this being a cakewalk for Spain. Obviously, they're not the Spain that we used to know back with the Torres days where they were cleaning up everybody. They are still a little bit in transition. Their team isn't amazing. I think they'll win the group. I think they'll do all right, but I think Poland will give them a very, very close run for their money. And I think Lewandowski, he's just a one-man team in that team, really. Poland aren't terrible. They're decent players all over the park, a lot of them in the Bundesliga, but I think Lewandowski is going to be that key thing against them. Spain's backline, not going to be amazing. Sweden's not going to be amazing. Slovakia, not going to be amazing. So he will score goals. So if you're looking for an FPL guy, Louis a good shout here. Sweden, I think, will finish third. They'll be distant. I don't know if they'll make it through. Slovakia, clear fourth. They'll get a couple of points, but nothing amazing. Now, final group is obviously the group of death, and that's Group F. This is going to be a very, very enticing group to watch. France top, I see that coming out. I see these guys doing very well this tournament. Portugal, I see them coming up second, man. They have a fucking good squad. They are going to do really, really well. And this is where my second massive call is going to come in. I see Hungary finishing third and Germany finishing last. To be honest, I see Germany getting 1 point. I see them drawing with Hungary. I don't even see them beating Hungary. They are terrible. I see France and Portugal running all over them. This is going to be a very, very bad tournament for Germany. And obviously, the best 4 third-place teams will go through the next round. Now, it's hard to call who's going to finish where because obviously it all depends on goal difference and points picked up and stuff like that. So this is a bit of a stab in the dark. But out of my predictions, I'll say Turkey, Austria, Czech Republic, and Sweden go through, with Denmark and Hungary missing out. Now, unluckily, Denmark will miss out in this group. But that could easily be Austria out, Denmark in. I don't know. I'm taking a bit of a gamble here. I'm going to say Austria. I'm going to say David Alaba is going to do something magical and get them through to the next round, and that's going to be huge for them. Alright, and now this is where we get fun. We move on to the knockout rounds. And obviously, like I said, it's a bit hard to predict who finishes third in the best 4 out of those third place spots. So this might be a little bit up in the air, but you're going to get first knockout round of Belgium versus Sweden. And I see Belgium just walking past whoever finishes in this thing. I don't see whoever finishes third beating Belgium. So well done to Belgium moving to the next round. Followed by the Italy versus Netherlands game. And boy, that is going to be a bloody good game. But I do see Italy getting on in the next round. Next up is France, Turkey, and what more do you need to say? Mbappe is going to have a field day, so he's going to go through. Croatia versus Poland, going to be a much more difficult fixture. I do see that one going to Lewandowski and them going to have a very good tournament, moving up to France. And hey, can magic happen? You know, Lowy getting up over France, maybe. Next up, I see Spain versus Austria. Now, that's going to be a good game, but I see Spain walking through and beating Austria. Austria will have done well to get this far. Let's put it that way. Then we move on to the big one, and this is one I was mentioning before. England finishing top of their group in that group of death with Portugal is going to suck. Whether it's Portugal or France, either way around, it is going to suck. So whoever they end up against is going to hurt. And I see Portugal beating them, to be honest. I think this is going to be very disappointing for England. They're going to line up against Portugal and they're going to get fucking poleaxed. So it's going to knock them out of the tournament really, really quickly, and that's going to hurt. Especially for Gareth Southgate, who's expecting a pretty decent tournament. Next up, you've got Ukraine versus the Czech Republic. Now that is going to be a huge game for Ukraine. I see them getting up over the Czech Republic. As I said, this Shevchenko manager, with all of these young stars that he has, I see this being a huge tournament. I see them doing a Iceland a couple of years back and doing a Greece and going on and winning the tournament. I see this playing out quite like that. You know, Ukraine are a very decent side, so I see them getting up over Czech. And then moving on to the final knockout, and that's Switzerland versus Russia. And Russia are solid. They are very, very good. I see them getting up over Switzerland and coming up against Ukraine in the next round. So for the first knockout tournament after the round of 16, so we got quarterfinals, we line up against Belgium and Italy, and that is going to be a fucking great game. I see, to be honest, I see Italy getting up in this. I don't see Belgium beating them. I see Italy having a fantastic tournament, coming back to the international stage, having a great tournament, cleaning their group, knocking out the Netherlands, knocking out Belgium, and moving on into those semi-finals, and that will be massive for Italy. Next knockout round is obviously France-Poland, and that's pretty straightforward. I see France going past. They are too damn strong. Unless some magic happens from Lewandowski, I don't see it happening for Poland, and that'll be the end of the road. But that'll be a fantastic tournament for Poland if they finish there. Next up is a massive game of Spain versus Portugal, and what a fucking match this will be. Is this Cristiano Ronaldo's last swan song? Is this where he comes up, beats Spain, and does it all over again in back-to-back Euro tournaments? Maybe it is. I reckon we could be onto something here, to be honest. I reckon after a disappointing year in Italy, he's going to come out looking for something to prove, and this is going to be where he does it. And then you move on to the Ukraine and Russia game, and this, as I said, is going to be stupid. It's going to be a stupid game. So much politicalness inside this game. It's going to be hectic. I do see Ukraine getting up and getting into the next round here. So, you know, that's going to be humongous on the political stage and on the football field. Russia getting knocked out obviously that's going to cause some tensions. Who knows what this leads to? Is this where World War III starts? Ukraine beat Russia in the Euros and all of a sudden Russia invade? Who freaking knows? Alright, and that leads to a massive semi-final of Italy versus France. And boy, as much as I would love to see Italy beat France and get into the finals, I don't see it happening. I see Mbappe and France being way too strong and taking out Italy. But god damn, it would be a freaking good run for the Italians. And then the next one is going to be, there's always an underdog somewhere in here, and I think this is where it's going to be. I think Portugal are going to beat England, which everybody expects to go deep, and I think Ukraine are going to have a fantastic tournament, and it's going to be Portugal-Ukraine semi-final, and I think Ronaldo is just going to be too damn strong to stop Ukraine in their tracks. As much as I would love to see an Italy-Ukraine final and everything go up in smoke. You know, I think it's going to be a Portugal-France final, unfortunately. And then once you get there, what a final that is going to be. Portugal versus France. Like, I don't know what more you could want. Those two teams are the most stacked teams in the countries right now. It's going to be fantastic. I see France coming out on top. I see them taking the title from Portugal, and it will sort of be the end of the international career for Ronaldo. A bit of disappointment. Another thing to add on top after his bad Italian season, basically. So be well done to France going into the World Cup, probably taking #1 spot then off of Belgium, I reckon, if they win this tournament. So be a very good time. But yeah, that's my predictions. As you can see, I'm throwing in some upsets in here. There are some big names that I'm dropping out, some big names that I'm dragging in, man. I'm on the Ukraine bandwagon, I'm telling you right now. I reckon that's a decent squad to look out for. So if you're looking for your fantasy league team, some differential players, look into that Ukraine squad. There's going to be some decent pickups in there. Players like Zinchenko, we know obviously at Man City, who do quite well, but look deep into that team. I reckon that could have some gems in there, and they're going to score some differential points. So until the next video, guys, I will look forward to seeing you then. Keep your eyes open. Make sure to give me a like, give me a subscribe, leave a comment, do something fun. We'll look forward to it. We're only a couple of days out from the start of the Euros now, so let's get around it, lads. Let's jump into this FPL league. Let's make it a fun tournament. Get the group chat popping. So I look forward to talking to you all soon. I'll see you all in the next video.